So one of the things that we're going to ask you to do in this course, because you can't, the regular VEX V5 robot, you're not going to be able to build that, but we're going to have you model it in SolidWorks. So we're going to have you learn how to do some part modeling and assembly modeling and so on. And then actually, when we do the final project, you'll create a model of the robot and have it put it on the field and demonstrate that it can do the different tasks, show where the center of mass is, that's not going to fall over, and so on. Maybe do some even some motion studies and to determine torque required to move an arm or a 4-bar or something like that. So to do that, you're going to have to use the remote desktop and remote desktop into windows.wpi.edu. And you're going to want to be able to have all members of your team have access to the SolidWorks assembly. So I believe that all of you have a OneDrive account through WPI. So what you can do when you remote desktop into windows.wpi.edu, you're going to have to set up OneDrive in that account. So what you can do is just right-click on your OneDrive, and I'm assuming yours looks like mine, so where it says OneDrive for Business, just click on Copy Link, and then when you switch over to, so this is, as you can see up the top here, this is windows.wpi.edu. When you switch into that, then you'll, down in the bottom here, let me just move this out of the way. In the bottom here, you click on that and type in OneDrive, right? If you click on it, you should get a box where you have to set it up. I've already just set mine up, so I don't get that box anymore. But you'll get a box, and then that link that you copied from your OneDrive, there'll be a box to put in. I think it just says library or something like that, or sync library, and you put in that link, and then it will sync all your files into the this desktop, so that then you have access and your teammates will have access. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about how to use SolidWorks, and let's see if I can get this to. Okay, so well, let's talk a little bit about part modeling. So in general, in most solid modelers, you start out with a two-dimensional sketch. Like 95% of the time, that's how you create a part. So you start out with a two-dimensional sketch, and then you'll do one of four things with it. You'll either extrude it, which is kind of like, pushing clay through the clay dough, the Play-Doh. You create different shapes just pushing it through. So that's just called an extrude. And then another thing you can do is do a revolve. So in other words, you have some axis and you take that sketch and you revolve it around the axis. Or you have some, it could be just some three-dimensional path in space, like the path that a pipe follows on a muffler system in your car, or in a gas turbine for a jet engine. And so you take, say, the cross-section of the pipe and you just sweep that along the path to create a part. Or the last thing is you have maybe different types of cross-sections, and then you loft, you kind of create a model that passes through these different shapes and gradually transitions from one shape to another. So we're just going to quickly, using this airfoil shape, we're going to do all four of those. And so this is a sketch. This sketch was originally sketched on what's called the front plane, right? So every part starts out with three planes, front, top, and right side plane. And then you can also create other planes and put them any place that you want. And you need to have the plane so that you can put a sketch on that plane and create the sketch. So we already have the sketch here. And if I click on the sketch right here, you can see that it actually has dimensions on it. And if I click on this eyeball here and click on the D1 for dimensions, you can see that there are actually dimensions. I'm going to have to stop here and pick up with the next video.